Hey everyone, I hope that you guys are all doing well. Welcome to another video. In today's video, I don't really have a whole lot to say. I'm just going to kind of walk you through this outing. All of the images that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I made at the end of February, about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days before I came back to Los Angeles. February of 2022, by the way. I had been in Italy for, I think, about a month at the time. And even though I had made quite a few different photographs, I was feeling like, and I guess to some extent I still feel that way, I was feeling like I hadn't made I really didn't make good photographs while I was there. At least that's what it felt like. And so I did something that I had only done one time, previously. So, and that was on Valentine's, and only because I had to, because I was kind of stuck in the city and I had time to kill. So I decided that I would do an exercise where I would stay out a lot longer than I normally do. I usually go out for about an hour and a half. This time, I went into Milan to meet up with a friend. We met up at about 5 p.m. And I decided that I would stick around pretty much until the city dies down. I've noticed that in Milan, there's like this tremendous energy, but at a certain point, it dies down and the streets get lonely, or it just gets quieter. So I figured that I didn't know what time that would be. I figured that I would just stay till then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and roll the first clip. These are all the images that I made right after I met up with my friend. And I hope you guys enjoy today's episode. The last images that you just saw of the two girls, one of them is from Croatia and the other one is from Italy. And I was walking down the street and I heard them speaking in English. And when you're an American and you're in a different country and you hear someone speaking English, it was very noticeable to me. It called my attention. And so I could hear them saying, hey, maybe we could ask that guy to take a picture of us. He's got a camera, And so I didn't even wait for them to come and ask me. I walked up to them and I introduced myself. We spoke for a little bit and I took a couple of pictures of them with their cell phones. One of them had a film camera. And I think I made 1 or 2 frames of them with the film camera. And then I asked them if I could make a few shots with my X-E4. And they said yes. And so those are the images that I took. All of the images that you're seeing in today's episode are all JPEGs, using the same JPEG workflow that I've used pretty much the entire time that I was in Italy. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that they're JPEGs. What difference really does it make, I guess. But anyways, the next segment that I'm going to share with you is probably, or was the most challenging segment to make in today's episode, mainly because the sun was going down, and then at a certain point I found myself shooting pretty much like in the nighttime. And the part of Milan that I was in, there were not a lot of there wasn't really a lot of street lights or artificial light or window lights illuminating my subjects. This was the part also of the outing where I felt a little bit more not as motivated, and I was shooting at the top ISO that the X-E4 can do. But I reminded myself, because this is typically where I would go home when I feel like this, I reminded myself to push through this feeling that it's not about me or my feelings, that basically when I'm out there, I'm an observer. And I'm following a calling. And I think that if you are an observer and you're you observe people, you like to people watch without judgment, but more from a place of curiosity and childlike wonder, and you don't do street photography, it might be an exercise worthy of trying out. Anyways, I'm sidetracking. Here is the next segment. I hope you enjoy. Started to realize that if I would go near any type of store or shops where there was bright lights, that I could illuminate my subjects better. And so what I did is I left that area and I started heading towards a somewhat commercial area where I knew that there would be a lot of shops and there would be a lot of artificial light. Most of the images that you have seen so far were shot with the 27mm 2.8. The X-E4 and the 27mm 2.8 are my favorite all-time combinations ever. Unfortunately, later that evening, I dropped the 27mm 2.8 down a flight of concrete steps at a train station, and I haven't been able to use it since. All of that to say that in this next segment, you are going to notice that there will be a certain part where I switch from my 27mm 2.8 over to the 18mm f2, which is also a really fun lens. And yeah, I had an amazing time. I think that going out and staying longer, spending an entire evening out just observing and capturing what I observe with my camera, is an exercise that I'm going to be doing a lot more often. Hopefully you guys found some value in today's episode, and yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Here's the last segment. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.